So coming to the today's class, so we had a discussion on nature of federation. That is the topic that we are talking about is Indian Federation. In the previous class, we have compared the futures of Indian Federation with that of a true federation, and ultimately we concluded that India is not a true federation. So India is a quasi-federal system. So India is a quasi-federal nation. It is a quasi-federal nation with centralizing tendency. That is, India is more unitary and less federal. Alright. So this is what we have discussed, and along with this, in the previous class we even talked about Article 1. We even discussed Article 1. So what is Article 1? Alright. So how India is being defined in Article 1. Alright. So this is what our previous class. Now let me start with Article 2. Let me start the today's class with Article 2. So Article 2 of the Constitution deals with admission. It deals with admission of new states. Admission of new states into Indian Union. Admission of new states into Indian Union. Alright. So this is what our topic is. Alright. So our topic is admission of new states into Indian Union. Alright. So when we talk about this new states, those states, that is that territory which is originally not a part of Indian Constitution. A territory that is not a part of Indian Constitution. Originally a part of a territory which is not a part of Indian Constitution or Indian territory. I'm sorry. Alright. A territory which is not a part of Indian territory. Not a part of Indian territory. Alright. So say for example, you take Goa. So the state of Goa. If you take the state of Goa is originally not a part of Indian territory. It belongs to Portuguese. Right. Originally Goa belongs to Portuguese territory. It is a Portuguese one. You take Goa, Lakshadweep, Pondicherry, Yanam, alright, Sikkim. So all these territories are not a part of Indian territory originally. Alright. So the Constitution of India even allows admission of these kind of territories into Indian Union. Right. So it provided a clear procedure for admitting these new territories. And recently we have seen in 2017 the government of India and the government of Bangladesh have exchanged territories between them. Alright. So exchange of territories between India and Bangladesh. Right. So a land boundary agreement was made between India and Bangladesh. A land boundary agreement was made between India and Bangladesh. So by this agreement there was exchange of territories between India and Bangladesh. That means India has admitted certain territories of Bangladesh into Indian territory, and similarly we have given right Indian territories to what we call Bangladesh. That is, there is an exchange of territories. So Article 2 of Indian Constitution, Article 2 of Indian Constitution, it deals with these. Article 2 of Indian Constitution, it deals with this admission of territories, right? So first of all, Union has every power. Union has every power to admit any new territory into Indian Union, right? The Union here, it means it is central government. Union here, it is the Union government or the central government. The Union has every power. The Union has every power to admit any new territory into Indian Union. This can be done by an agreement between the two governments. So it is done by an agreement between the governments, an agreement between the executives. Alright? The agreement between the two governments are the executives. So that means what? Admitting a new territory into Indian Union, it is an executive decision. It is an executive decision. So it is the government that will decide whether to accept a new territory or not. Alright? It is the decision of Union government. It is an executive decision or the decision of Union government. It is a decision of Union government. Alright? So it is called as executive. So it is made by the decisions of government. The first step in admitting new territory into Indian Union is, right, an agreement should be made between the two governments. So unless two governments agrees, there cannot be any exchange of territories. So unless the other government agrees, the government of India cannot accept a new territory into Indian Union. So it is an executive decision. And this is implemented in the form of agreement, right? Agreement made by two governments. But remember, these agreements cannot be implemented. The agreements made by the government, they cannot be implemented without a law being passed in the parliament, right? So to implement this agreement, it requires a law of parliament, right? So law need to be passed by parliament, right, which may bring changes to Indian Constitution, right? So to implement this agreement, the implementation of the agreement requires law of parliament, right? So without a law of parliament, without a law being made in the parliament, this agreement will not be implemented, right? This agreement will not be implemented without the law of parliament. Okay, all right. Now, Amma? See here, agreement is between the two governments, the governments which are involved in exchange of territories, India and the other government. So the agreement is between the two governments. But government of India, if it want to implement this agreement, government of India cannot implement the agreement without a law being passed, right? So law is essential to implement this agreement, right? And this law may bring changes to constitution. So we call it as amendments, right? So a law that is made by parliament to implement Article 2, right? A law that is made by parliament to implement the agreement made by the government, it may bring changes to constitution, right? No? See here, it is by simple majority. The law that is made by parliament, it is by simple majority. That is, it requires an ordinary law, right? So it requires an ordinary law, and this ordinary law may bring changes to the constitution, right? See here, there won't be any temporary or permanent, right? Law, once it is made, it is a permanent law. Right? The only thing is it can be changed. If it is temporary, it is called as bill. The difference between bill and what you call law is, bill is a draft law. Right? So once it has been passed in Parliament and after getting assented by President of India, it becomes an act. Right? So always make a difference between bill, a law, an act. So normally it is the governments, it is the government or the executive. It is the government or the executive that will draft this bill. These bills are prepared on any issue. Say for example, what you call issue of transferring of territories. So bill will be drafted by government. These bills are introduced in Parliament because without acceptance of Parliament, without passed in Parliament, no bill can become a law or no bill can become an act. Right? So it will be introduced in Parliament. So based upon nature of the bill, right, there are different majorities. We have ordinary majority, special majority. So for money bills, it is again a different special majority. Right? And for what you call, you take impeachment or you take constitution amendment bill, there is a different majorities. Right? So after passing in the Parliament, the bill after getting passed in Parliament, it becomes a law. Right? The law that is assented by President, right, becomes an act. It becomes an act only after President getting only after President signing the bill. So normally President, right, in our Indian Constitution, some or the other way, President should give his assent. Right? So though he enjoys veto powers, but ultimately what we can say is that President has to give assent. Right? So once President gives his assent means signature, it becomes an act. Alright? So this is what the procedure. So here to pass a bill under Article 2, right? To pass a law under Article 2, it requires simple majority. The law that is passed here it is by simple majority. Right? So any law that is passed by simple majority. Remember, as you are new to this, any law that is passed by simple majority, normally it is called as ordinary laws. In other way, ordinary laws means those laws which are passed with simple majority. So to implement this agreement, it requires a law in Parliament to be passed. Right? And the majority that is required to pass this law is simple majority. It is by simple majority. Right? That means what? Without passing a law, though there is an agreement made between the governments, right, this agreement will not come into effect. That is, this agreement will not be implemented. Alright? Am I clear about this point? Alright? So, making of agreement is not just enough. Making of agreement is not just enough. Along with the agreement, what we require is law of Parliament. Alright? And remember one point very clearly, any law that is made under Article 2, will not be regarded as a constitutional amendment law. It will not be treated as a constitutional law. It is just an ordinary law. Though it brings changes to constitution, any law that is made under Article 2, will not be called as a constitutional amendment laws. Alright? So this is clearly mentioned in Article 4 of the Constitution. In Article 4 of the Constitution, it is clearly mentioned that any law that is made to give effect to Article 2, any law, so this is the constitutional language, right? So any law that is made to implement Article 2 will not be treated as a constitutional amendment law. So these are not my interpretation. It is clearly given in Article 4 of the Constitution. So according to Article 4, any law that is made under Article 2 will not be called as constitutional amendment law. Alright. So then what is a constitutional amendment law? Which laws will be called as a constitutional amendment laws? When a law will be called as a constitutional amendment law? When a law will be called as a constitutional amendment law. Right? So remember, alright, a law will be called as a constitutional amendment law only if it is passed according to the procedure given in Article 368. Alright, so we have a separate article and there is a clear procedure mentioned in this Article 368. Constitutional amendment law is that law. Constitutional amendment law is that law which is strictly made according to Article 368. So any law that is made according to Article 368 by following the procedure given in Article 368, it will be called as constitutional amendment law. It will be called as constitutional amendment law. The hallmark here is these laws are passed by special majority. Normally there is the constitutional amendment laws are passed by special majority, that is a majority of not less than 2/3 of members, a majority of not less than 2/3 of members present and voting, majority of not less than 2/3 of members present and voting, right? So we call this as special majority. So constitutional amendment law is that law which is passed according to Article 368 by following the procedure of Article 368, that is by special majority, which means 2/3 of members present and voting. Alright, but coming to Article 2, it is passed by simple majority. So when it is passed by simple majority, can be treated as a constitutional amendment law? It won't be treated as a constitutional amendment law. Okay. Right, so make this point very clear. Right, any law that is made under Article 2 will not be treated as a constitutional amendment law. It is by ordinary law which is passed by simple majority, that is Parliament alone. So if you look at this procedure, Parliament alone has the power to admit any new territory into Indian Union. So do states have any role in this? When you have seen this procedure, right, have you seen any role being given to states? Is there a role given to states? Even the students who are in online do try to give the answers, right? So it is Parliament which is passing the law by simple majority and it is admitting the new territory into Indian Union. So what is the role of states here? Do states have any role? No role. We have not seen any role being given to the states, right? States have no role. So without the consent of state, without the agreement of state, or without the interest of states being taken into consideration, the government of India alone can admit any new territory into Indian Union. Similarly, right, same thing, without the involvement of states, without taking the interest of states into consideration, Government of India alone can transfer Indian territory to other countries. Same as we accept the other territories into Indian Union, similarly we can also transfer Indian territory into the other countries. We have seen this with in the case of Berubari, a village in West Bengal, and most recent controversy, the issue of Kachativu, Alright, so Kachativu was originally before independence, alright, till 1974. It was part under Indian Union. It was a part of Indian Union. So here the government of India took a decision of transferring this Kachativu to Sri Lanka. Now whether this interest of states are taken into consideration, the interest of states are not taken into consideration. Alright. So can we call this Article 2 as an example of unitary system? Can we take this Article 2 as an example of unitary system? Absolutely. It is an example. It is an example of unitary system. So here in this entire Article 2, the Parliament alone is acting. The Parliament alone is acting without the consent of states. Right. So this represents that is admission of new territories into Indian Union. Admission of new territories into Indian Union represents, alright, a unitary system or a unitary future. Alright. So this is about Article 2. Now coming to Article 3 of Indian Constitution. Coming to Article 3 of Indian Constitution. Alright. So if you take this Article 3 of Indian Constitution. Alright, coming to Article 3 of Indian Constitution. And remember, right, let me give the examples. So by using this Article 2, right, Government of India has acquired Pondicherry, Lakshadweep, alright, from France, Goa from Portugal. And coming to the case of Sikkim, Sikkim is different case because it was not a part of any country. This legislative assembly of, right, the central legislative assembly of Sikkim, they passed a resolution to join Indian Union. Right, they have passed a resolution to join Indian Union. And initially, right, the Sikkim was adopted, right, into Indian Union, and it was given the status of associate state. Remember, when Sikkim was admitted into Indian Union, Sikkim was given the status of associate state, and it is not by an agreement, but it is based upon the resolution passed in the Sikkim Legislative Assembly. The Sikkim has passed, right, Sikkim Legislative Assembly has passed what we call a resolution to join Indian Union. So this is the contention of China. Why China claims Sikkim as a part of its territory? We see this, right, the boundary conflict between India and China. Sikkim is also one of the issue. Alright. So before 1974, Sikkim was not a part of Indian Union. It has joined in India in 1974, and from 74, 75, 76 there were changes made. Of course, giving of status of associate state, then giving the status of full-fledged state. Alright. So it is a different state. Right. So based upon the resolution passed in a Legislative Assembly of Sikkim, alright, that Sikkim was admitted into Indian Union, and initially Sikkim was given the status of associate state. Later it was given the status of full-fledged state, because in Indian Constitution, if you take our Schedule 1 of Indian Constitution, which deals with unions, the territories of union, the territories of states as well as UTs, but we don't have the word of associate state in Indian Constitution. Right? If you take Indian Constitution, in our Indian Constitution, we don't have this word of associate state. Alright. So now how Government of India can give this status of associate state to Sikkim, as it is not there in Indian Constitution? Either it should be given a status of union territory, which was actually given to Goa. When Goa was acquired from Portugal, initially Goa was an union territory. Later, right, it was given the statehood. Alright. So, but coming to the issue of associate state, we don't have this word of associate state in Indian Constitution. That is the reason why the criticisms have come against this. So this was challenged in court. So Government of India has what you call in the next year, it was Sikkim was given the status of full-fledged state. Alright. So this is about working of Article 2 in Indian Constitution, right? So acquiring of acquiring of Goa, or you take Pondicherry, they are the examples. They are the examples of working of Article 2 in Indian Constitution. Now coming to Article 3 of Indian Constitution. Coming to Article 3 of Indian Constitution, alright. And remember, I want to specify one point to the students who are in online. Alright, in the break time, I will see all the charts that are made, all the charts that are being made by the students. So any kind of doubt that is raised, any kind of doubt that is raised, I will clear all the doubts, right, in the second half of the session, right. So don't think that I am not going to clear the doubts of the online students. Whatever doubts you have, please post in the chat box so that I can see and I'll clear all your doubts. All right. So make use of it. Coming to Article 3 of Indian Constitution. So if you take this Article 3 of Indian Constitution, deals with creation of new states from the existing states. Article 2 is admitting new states which are not a part of Indian territory. But here Article 3 is creation of new states from the existing states. Creation of new states from existing states. So how these new states are created? By altering the boundaries of that states. So Article 3 even deals with altering boundaries of the states. Separation of the existing states, merging of states, altering the boundaries, separation of new states, right, changing the names of the states. Even, right, Article 3 allows changes in the names of the state, right, changing the names of the states. So recently we have seen the name of Orissa being changed to Odisha, right. So Article 3, it deals with these things. So primarily our interest is, it is creation of new states from the existing states, right. So here remember, again it is the parliament, which is given the sole power to create new states in Indian Union, right. So remember, parliament enjoys the power. Parliament is the sole institution to create new states in India by altering their boundaries, by merging or separation. That means what? Right, the existence of states, the territorial existence of states is in the hand of, parliament. Alright, the territorial existence of states, it is in the hands of parliament. It is in the hand of parliament, right. So that is what. So let us try to understand the procedure for creating new states from the existing states. So as I said, it is a parliament which has a sole power, but the entire process is initiated by President of India. It is the President of India who initiates the process. Alright. So the power to create states in India, it starts with referring a bill to the concerned state legislature by President. So it is referring the bill to the concerned state legislature. So it is the president who refers the bill, right, to the concerned state legislature, which is to be divided. That is, a bill is referred to the state by president, through whom? Whether president will directly send the bill to the state, it is to the governor. So president directs the governor to refer the bill to the state which is to be divided. Referring the bill to the concerned state legislature, right, which is to be divided. So it is done by governor on the directions of President of India. So it is the governor who is directed by President of India. It is a governor who is directed by President of India to refer the bill to the concerned state legislature. So based upon this directions, governor should. So there is no other option. Governor has to introduce the bill. Governor has to refer bill to the state legislature. In case if governor fails to act on the directions of president, I am saying that president directs the governor to refer the bill to the state. In case if governor fails to act on the directions of president, then what happens? In case of governor failing to act on the directions, nothing will happen. So he will direct the central government. Remember, right? Any failure to act on the directions of president, right? It is a ground for the President of India to remove the governor, right? Remember, governor always acts at the pleasure of President of India, right? Governor always acts at the pleasure of President of India. That means it is the President of India who has the power to appoint as well as remove the governor whenever required. So there is no separate procedure mentioned in the constitution, right? If you take the removal of governor, we don't have any specific procedure mentioned for the removal of governor. So it is the President of India. It is the President of India, right, who has every power to remove the governor at any point of time. Normally, whenever governor fails to act on the directions. So whatever president directs, it is a duty of the governor to do it. So it is a compulsion for governor. If governor fails to act on the directions of president, then it is a ground. Then it is a ground for removal of governor. So remember this point. It is a ground for removal of governor. So governor has to refer the bill for the concerned state legislature. So the first step is president referring the bill, right? And based upon the directions of the president, the governor should refer the bill to the concerned state legislature. And the concerned state legislature, the concerned state legislature should discuss this bill, right? They should discuss this bill and give its opinion. The purpose of referring the bill to the state legislature, it is to know the opinion of the state legislature, right? Because state legislature represents the views of entire states. It represents the views of the entire people. So within a given time, within a specified time, or specified time, the state legislature should give its opinion, right? So it can be any opinion. Either the state can favor division, or the state can reject the division. So it is up to the state legislature. The MLAs can give their opinion. Either they can accept creation of new states, or simply they can reject the creation of new states. There can be every chance. But the opinion need to be given within the specified time. Now, within what time? So, is there any specific time limit mentioned in the constitution to give the opinion? That is, in our constitution, do we have any specific time limit? Remember, in our constitution, we don't have any specific time limit. There is no specific time limit. There is no specific time limit mentioned in Indian constitution. We don't have any specific time limit in the constitution. Okay, all right. Then who will specify the time? Who will specify the time? Who will clearly provide this time limit? It is President of India. So remember, while referring the bill itself, while referring the bill to the state legislature, right, the president of India will provide this specific time. So it is President of India. It is President of India who provides, right, who specifies the time. So normally, by tradition, as a practice, the time that is given to the state legislature is 3 months. That is, within 3 months. Within 3 months, the states are required to give their opinion. So remember, this 3 months time limit is normally specified by President of India, but not by governor. So make this point very clear. It is not by constitution. Sorry, it is not by constitution. It is not by constitution, but it is by President of India. The time is specified, the time limit is specified by President of India, but not by the constitution. So this is, alright, so this is about what you call the time within which the state legislature should give its opinion. Alright, next point is, the state may accept or the state may reject. The opinion of state is not binding on the creation of new states. Very, very important. The opinion given by the state legislature, the opinion given by state legislature, it is not binding on, it is not binding on President of India. It is not binding on President of India, nor on the process of creation of states. On the process of creation of state. It is not binding. It is not binding on the President of India, nor on the process of creation of states. That means what? Irrespective of the opinion given by state legislature, President of India can take a decision. After given, see, remember, right, whether the opinion is given or not, the opinion can be given within 3 months, or simply the state legislature can simply what you call table the bill without giving any opinion. Right? There is an every chance the state legislature may not take the opinion. Right? So even in that case, there is no impact on president. So the opinion given by state legislature is not binding. State may accept or state may reject. It may accept or it may reject. Still, the President of India has every power to refer the bill to the Parliament. So after the given time period, the President of India can refer the bill to the concerned to the Parliament of India. That is, so what is the given time? It is 3 months. After 3 months, right, irrespective of decision of state legislature, right, the President of India can refer the bill to the Parliament. The next stage is referring the bill to the referring the bill to the Parliament. Alright, the President of India can refer the bill to the Parliament irrespective of decision of state legislature. So here in Parliament, the bill can be introduced in either house of Parliament. So it is up to the Union government. So all the bills which are referred by President of India, they need to be introduced by government. That means what? They should be introduced only by a member of government, that is by a minister. So except the minister, no other member of Parliament, no other MP has the right or power to introduce these bills. So remember, the logic is, whenever a bill is referred by President of India, all such bills should be introduced in the Parliament only by a minister, that is only by a member of government. Very important point. So it is these kind of points, or it is these kind of statements that will be asked in prelims exam. Alright. So It is by a minister. It is by a minister, right? Right? Who should introduce these bills? The bills are introduced. The bills are introduced by the ministers. Alright? And these can be introduced in either house of parliament. These can be introduced in either house of parliament. The bills can be introduced in either house of parliament. Okay? Next, yeah. No? Normally it is home ministry because, right, we have a separate department. We have a separate department in home ministry that deals with the states, right? Department of states. There is a separate department within home ministry. You are right. Alright? So this is one point. It is what you call the bill can be referred to either house of parliament, right? Next step is voting and discussion and voting, right? Remember the majority that is required. The majority that is required to pass these bills is simple majority, right? The majority that is required to pass these bills is simple majority. The bill that is introduced under Article 3, the bill that is introduced under Article 3 should be passed by simple majority. It requires simple majority. Okay. What do you mean by simple majority? Majority of members present and voting, right? Exactly, if you take these wordings, because when you write exam, when you are writing answers, you should use these kind of words. It is a majority of the members present and voting. It is majority of members present and voting. That means one more than half, that is out of the existing members, it is out of the existing members, it is one more than the half of the members, that is 50% plus 1, majority of members present and voting, right? So one more than half of the members, alright? So remember, now, what is the minimum strength that is required to start the business of the house? What is the minimum strength that is required to start the business of the house? Which we call it as quorum. We take this, alright, quorum. What is the majority required? What is the minimum strength that is required? Quorum represents, alright, it represents the strength. Quorum represents the minimum strength. Minimum strength that is required to start the business of the house. So what is the minimum strength that is required to start the business of the house? Any idea? Alright. So remember, to start the strength, to start the business of the house, it requires 1/10 of total members, right? The minimum strength that is required, the minimum strength that is required is 1/10 of total strength of the house, 1/10 of total members. That is what the minimum quorum that is required, right? So in case of Lok Sabha, it is 1/10 of 550. In case of Rajya Sabha, so in case of Lok Sabha, it is 1/10 of 550. In case of Rajya Sabha, it is 1/10 of 250. So it is 55 in case of Lok Sabha, it is 25 in case of Rajya Sabha. So this is the minimum strength that is required. This is minimum strength that is required to start the business in house. Alright. So out of this minimum strength, it is 1 more than half. Alright. So this is the majority required. This is the majority required to pass a bill under Article 3. Alright. And now coming to veto powers of President. Whether it is after passing the bill in Parliament, normally it will be sent for President assent. It will be sent to President office to his signature. So whether President has to give his signature or do President has any veto power? Whether President has to give his signature or President has any veto power. Alright. So remember one point, another logic. All those bills which are referred by President of India to the Parliament, all those bills which are referred by President of India to the Parliament, President has to sign. President has to give his assent. There is no veto on such bills. So the bills which are referred by President to the Parliament. So in this case, the President has the President has referred the bill to the Parliament. That means what? After passing the bill in Parliament, when it comes to President office, whether President has to sign or not, he has to sign. Alright, he has to sign. Alright. So this is what the issue is. So alright, normally the date on which the President gives his assent, the date on which the President gives his assent, it is from the date. It is from the date, right? We see the new states are being created, right? Normally it is the date on which the President gives his assent. It is from the date the new states stands to be created. Alright. ఏ రోజైతే ప్రెసిడెంట్ సంతకం పెడతాడో ఆ రోజు నుంచి స్టార్ట్ అవుద్ది. బట్ ప్రెసిడెంట్ మే ఆల్సో స్పెసిఫై a specific date for the creation of new states, right? Though he may give his assent, though President may give his assent, right? But still President may clearly specify a specific date, right, for the commencement of new constitution. Let me take the example of Telangana, because Telangana being the newest state that is created. The bill was introduced in in the month of February. The bill was passed in the month of March, and in the same month the bill was assented. But when Telangana came to existence, it is on June 2nd. That means while giving his assent, President has clearly specified the date of creation of the state, that is on June 2nd. That means what? So though the President may give his assent, but still President can clearly specify the date on which the new states comes into existence. The date on which the new state comes into existence. Alright. So this is the procedure. This is the procedure for creation of states, altering the boundaries of states, alright, and changing the names of states. So let me rewind all this procedure once again. One is President taking the initiative. Second one is referring bill to the state legislature. Alright. Right. Then third is states. Alright. States within a given time. Should, alright, they are required to give their opinion. Alright. But irrespective of the opinion of the states, alright, the President can refer the bill to the Parliament. So referring the bill to Parliament, where this bill can be referred in either house of Parliament by a minister. It is in either house of Parliament by a minister. Then alright, voting, passing the bill by simple majority, then assent of President. Right. So these are different steps, or this is what the procedure for creating states in India. Alright. So am I clear on this procedure? Ardhamainda? Right. So now when you analyze these procedures, right, do you see or do you find any loopholes in this procedure? Are there any loopholes? There are any loopholes in this procedure? State's consent is not been what you call given importance. Okay. So you need, that is, there is no specific time given in the constitution. So president, because president always acts on the advice of prime minister, so there is an every chance of politicization of this. Okay, good. Don't you think that the simple majority is what you call do not really represents the aspirations of people? That is, states in India can be created very easily because it requires only a simple majority. So there is an every chance of misusing of this simple majority. Second, do we have any specific criteria given in the constitution to create the states in India? Do we have any specific criteria for creation of states in India? In our constitution, do we have any specific criteria? There is no specific criteria mentioned. There is no specific criteria mentioned in the constitution, because of which, right, this power to create states in India has been misused, right? So the political parties may take this as a chance. The political parties may take this as a chance for right, to get the political mileage, right? They may divide the states, they may divide the nation, right, for their political mileage. So there can be politicization of this Article 3. Right. So if you take the history of creation of states in India, right, initially, right, the states are created on the basis of language. So linguistic based states, right, based upon the recommendations of first SRC under the chairmanship of Fazl Ali Committee. Alright. So even before the issue of creating linguistic based states, it is not restricted only to Fazl Ali Committee. Initially, Dhar Commission was constituted, right? But Dhar Commission has rejected this idea of having linguistic based states. Then it was JVP Committee, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and Pattabhi Sitaramaiah, JVP Committee, who again rejected the idea of having linguistic based states. But it is after when Potti Sriramulu undertook, right, fast on to death for the creation of separate Andhra state, right, the then union government under Jawaharlal Nehru, they have constituted this Fazl Ali Committee, right, and remember it is only after the death of Potti Sriramulu, right, the Andhra state came to existence, right. So Andhra state is the first state in India to be created on the basis of language. Right, then this Fazl Ali Committee was constituted. So if you take this Fazl Ali Committee, the first Fazl Ali, F-A-Z-L, Fazl Ali Committee, which included, right, members like H.N. Kunjuru and K.M. Pannikar. H.N. Kunjuru and K.M. Pannikar. It is K.M. Pannikar who are the other members of this Fazl Ali Committee. Right? It is India's first states reorganization committee. So till now, how many SRCs are being constituted? Do anyone has idea? Till now, how many states reorganization committees have been constituted? Do you think that states are created only in 1956? No. Right, very frequently in India, states are created. In 1960s, we have seen states being created. In 1970s, states are created. In 1980s, states are created. In 2000s, states are created. And even in 2014, a new state was created. And we have seen the issue of Jammu and Kashmir, reorganization of what you call this Jammu and Kashmir. Right? So, till now, how many states reorganization committees are created according to you? What is your guess? Any guess? Remember, it is only one state reorganization committee that was created, that too in 1953. So first Lally committee is the first and last committee, and after that there was no other SRCs created. So initially language was used as the criteria for creating states in India. But remember, both the first Lally committee and even the then Law Minister of India, B.R. Ambedkar, they were very cautious of using language as the criteria. That means even first Lally committee said that language should not be the sole criteria for creating states in India. Right? So SRC was clearly, it was very clear that language should not be the sole it should not be the sole criteria. It should not be the sole criteria for creating states in India. It should not be the sole criteria for creation of states in India. That means what? Other than language, apart from language, there can be other what you call parameters or other criteria that can be used for creating states. So what are the other criteria that have been used in India apart from language? It is the socio-economic development of the states, right? Socio-economic development of the regions, culture. You take Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand, right? That is Uttaranchal. On what basis they are being created? It is on the basis of development. As they are regarded as they were backward regions in their home state, they are being separated for the purpose of development. So backwardness, alright. So developmental parameters, right? See here, normally in India we don't give much importance to ethnicity, of course, right? If it is really demanded, if it is really important, then it can be taken care. But ethnicity is not the parameter that is normally used in India. It is the backwardness, the socio-economic backwardness of the region. We take Himachal Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh was separate from Punjab, alright? Himachal Pradesh and Haryana. So if you take originally Punjab, alright, in before 1966, it included Haryana and Himachal Pradesh. But because of the backwardness of Himachal Pradesh, the Himachal region was separate from Punjab and it was being created a separate state. Alright. So if you take the reorganization of states in what you call this northeast, normally they are tribal and hill dominated areas. Originally they were a part of what you call Indian Union, that is they were union territories. Later they were given statehood. Alright. So if ethnicity is taken as a criteria, then India will become another Europe. There will be continuous demands for creation of states. Alright. Alright. So now it is development. It is development, socio-economic backwardness. It is socio-economic backwardness that is taken as a ground for creating states in India. So states are created based upon this socio-economic backwardness. So initially it was language, and we have seen this in 1956. Where the states are created based upon this language, where 14 states came to existence. But now it is not restricted only to language, it is the socio-economic backwardness or development, right? So this is about the procedure and the parameters, right? So take the question on this regard. Take down a question in this regard. Explain the procedure for creation of states in India. Explain the procedure for creation of states in India. And also highlight the drawbacks that are associated, and also highlight the drawbacks that are associated, also highlight the drawbacks that are associated with creation of the states. Also highlight drawbacks associated with creation of states and suggest measures. All right. Next question. Discuss the issue of survivability of Indian Federation. Discuss the issue of survivability of Indian Federation. Survivability of Indian Federation. Survivability of Indian Federation because of growing challenges. Survivability of Indian Federation caused because of growing challenges of subnationalism or subregionalism. Growing challenges of subnationalism. All right, in the recent past we see there is an increased subnationalism. That is, every state demanding more powers, every state having their own flag, state anthem, state bird, state tree. We see these kind of things. All right. So we see almost every state in India are glorifying their own what we call a regional importance. Now when states are fighting for their regional existence, what about the survivability of Indian nationalism and Indian Federation? So because of these challenges, because of these growing regional challenges, whether Indian Federation can really survive, Indian nationalism can really survive or not. So I want you to give an answer on this. So I want you to discuss this point. So if you can justify this answer, I am challenging, you will be in service. Definitely you will be in service. Right? This is one of the challenging questions. If you can at least write a 30% of this answer, I am damn sure you will be in service. So for this, read Hindu paper. You have a very good articles on growing subnationalism in India. So just type the word growing subnationalism, right? Google it and take the news articles from Hindu paper, read them and write the answer. You can read Hindu paper, you can read the Frontline magazine. Alright? So always make a habit of reading at least 2 or 3 articles from Hindu paper. It is very, very essential. And don't forget, because every day I am posting the important issues both from Hindu paper as well as from Indian Express in the website. Right? So please download them, and instead of wasting time in searching all the articles, just read whatever posted in the website. Alright? So I don't say that not to refer other current affairs materials, but first read this and then go for other materials. Right? Hardly it will take to read one article, it will take 5 minutes of time, and every day, right, we are posting around 8 to 10 articles depending upon the important issues. Right? So spare 1 hour of time, read them, revise them at a time. That means reading and revising should be done, right, on the same day. Alright? Because you will be having exams. There will be exams conducted on these points, on these issues. Alright, so this Saturday I am going to post questions on current affairs along with the regular polity exam. So the regular polity exam will be on salient features, preamble, and the procedure for creation of states. That is, whatever we have discussed till today, right? It will be asked on Saturday's exam, right? So I want you to revise, read along with descriptive questions, descriptive questions on this week's current affairs. Right? I say one thing, don't think about a result after 1 year. Think about this week. Think about this week's preparation. Think about this week's marks. Right? Think about this week's answers. So you should always think about your current things. If you are doing good today, imagine that you will do good in the exam. If you don't prepare now, right, if you fail today, don't expect result after 1 year. Right? ఇప్పుడు మార్క్స్ రాలేదనుకోండి, ఇప్పుడు మీరు సరిగ్గా పర్ఫామ్ చేయలేదనుకోండి, you know that you are failing. When you know that you are failing, what is the point in thinking about after 1 year? Every day is important, every week is important, every day's preparation is very important. Right? I'm really it is out of my heart. Right? If you are serious about your preparation, if you take every day seriously, if you read, if you revise every day, right? If you think about every day's exam, right? Definitely you will fare, right, very good in exam. For my mentorship batch, there is a separate mentorship batch for me. Right? They are writing exams on alternate days. Right? They won't get time to complete the syllabus. They should run behind the time to complete the syllabus, because if you justify your preparation today, if you can practice today's question paper, then it will, right, you will be ready for next year exam. Right? మీకంటే వీక్ డేస్ టైం ఉంది ఈ బ్యాచ్ వాళ్ళకి, కానీ మెంటర్షిప్ వాళ్ళకి అలా కాదు. రైట్? ప్రతిరోజు చదవాల్సిందే, ప్రతి నిమిషం చదవాల్సిందే. అంటే ప్రతిరోజు దే షుడ్ రీడ్, ఎవ్రీ డే దే షుడ్ స్పెండ్ అట్లీస్ట్ 10 hours ఆఫ్ టైం, వితౌట్ విచ్ ఫర్ దెమ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్ టు కంప్లీట్ ద సిలబస్. Right? So do prepare well and write the exam. Don't feel shy. In last exam, most of the candidates have not attempted. Don't feel shy. If you feel shy, if you don't attempt the exam, think that, right, you are not going to crack service. Tomorrow, if you want to see your face in newspaper, if you want to see your face in TV channels, if you want to show your existence, you need to work today. రేపటి రోజు మీకు రిజల్ట్ రావాలి, రేపటి రోజు మిమ్మల్ని అందరు గుర్తించాలి అంటే ఇవాళ వర్క్ చేయాలి. రేపటి రోజు మీరు హీరో కావాలి అంటే ఇవాళ వర్క్ చేయాల్సిందే. ప్రతిరోజు వర్క్ చేస్తేనే, 365 రోజులు వర్క్ చేస్తేనే ద 368th డే లాస్ట్ రోజు మీరు హీరో అవుతారు, లేకపోతే కారు. ఎగ్జామ్స్ రాయడం అన్నది కంపల్సరీ. నేను ఎందుకు ఇంత ద రీజన్ ఫర్ టేకింగ్ దిస్ ఇనిషియేటివ్ ఈస్ బికాస్ the one who is preparing seriously for UPSC, they should not become handicapped in their preparation. Right? Because I know all the pains of self preparation. Chala mandi idea undadu, they don't know about the concept, they don't know about the subject, they don't have the correct information. Right? So my intention is to help those students who are really preparing for UPSC exam. Right? Once you know all these things, once you know all this information, right, practicing and cracking is not that difficult. Right? So you will have more interest. ఒక్కసారి సబ్జెక్ట్ మన చేతిలోకి వచ్చిన తర్వాత, ఒక్కసారి మీరు సబ్జెక్ట్లో కొంచెం ప్రొఫిషియన్సీ పెరిగిన తర్వాత, యూ విల్ బీ అన్స్టాపబుల్. రైట్? అందుకనే I want to complete the syllabus even within 6 months, because once you complete the syllabus, you will feel more comfortable in the syllabus. Right? You will feel more comfortable in your preparation. A comfort zone create cheyali ante I should complete syllabus within 6 months. Right? So do try to write the answers. So I think I am clear about the syllabus for this weekend. So it is up to procedure for creating the states, salient features, preamble, procedure for creating the states. That is nature of Indian Federation. All right? And don't expect that. Don't think that I will leave the previous topics. It is up to me. Alright, that means I want you to be thorough with every topic that we have discussed till today, including historical background. Alright. So these are the criteria. So read whatever the articles that I am asking you to read them in Hindu paper. Don't waste time in reading unnecessary articles. Read exactly what is required for exam. Alright. So write this, answer these questions by reading the Hindu paper. So this is about nature of Indian Federation and the process of creating states in India. And we have seen, if we take India, alright, as I said, right from 1950s and 60s, alright, states are continuously being created in India, right? So in 56, 14 states were created, creation of Nagaland in 1963, separation of what you call Punjab and Haryana, Maharashtra and Gujarat, alright, creation of Himachal Pradesh in 1971. So right from then onwards, alright, creation of Goa, alright, these northeastern states, and recently it is the 3 states in 2001, that is Chhattisgarh, Uttarakhand and Jharkhand, and 2004 it is Telangana, right. So these are about the history of creation of states in India, right. So now let me move towards the next topic, that is citizenship. Citizenship, alright. First I will talk about the constitutional provisions on citizenship, that is alright, who are citizens of India, who are citizens of India at the time of commencement of constitution, the time of commencement of constitution. Second, right, after commencement of constitution, after commencement of constitution, how citizenship is acquired, how citizenship is acquired, right. Then laws of citizenship, how citizenship is lost. Then I will talk about the debate on Citizenship Amendment Act 2019, Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019, right. So because every day you see a news on this, right, implementation of Citizenship Amendment Act, right. So first, these are the things, alright. First of all, let us try to make difference between who is a citizen, right, who is a non-citizen, who are called as aliens, alright. Again we have friendly aliens and enemy aliens, friendly aliens and enemy aliens, alright. Alright. Then we talk of, see, we also see the issue of legal migrants, illegal migrants, legal migrants and illegal migrants, alright. We also see the term like refugees, refugees, alright. First, let us try to understand all these terms. We will try to understand all these terms, then we will go for the constitutional provisions. Who is a citizen? Citizen means all those individuals who enjoy all the civil and political rights, right. Citizen means the one who enjoys, citizen means the one who enjoys all the civil and political rights, civil and political rights. So, right to vote, right to contest elections, right to assume public offices, they are the exclusive rights given to citizens of this nation. Citizens of the nation. Apart from this, all the civil rights, that is, those rights which are essential for healthy existence of individuals. Those rights which are essential for healthy well-being. Healthy well-being of individuals, that is rights dealing with freedoms, liberties, right? That is what citizen is. Now coming to alien. Alien means a national of other countries. A national of other countries or subjects of other countries are called as aliens, right? Aliens means it is nationals or subjects of other countries, that is foreign countries. Alright, again when we talk about these aliens, right, we have friendly countries and enemy countries. So what do you mean by enemy countries? Enemy countries are those countries which are at war with India. So all those countries which are at war with India, they are treated as enemy countries, right? So those countries which are at war with India. So how many countries have fought war with India? Pakistan and China. That means that nationals of China and Pakistan are simply treated as enemy aliens, right? So if you take these aliens, if you take these foreign nationals, do these foreign nationals enjoy any right? Are they given any rights? Remember, these foreign nationals normally they are given civil rights but not political rights, right? That is, they can enjoy their freedom, they can enjoy the liberty, because liberty is given by God, right? Liberty to the individual, it is by birth, so no one can restrict it. So even the aliens, even the nationals of foreign countries, they have this liberty to live in India. They have every liberty, to live in India, right? So certain civil rights are given to the foreign nationals, right? Certain civil rights are given to foreign nationals, right? But there is a restriction on certain civil rights also. Say for example, free movement, residence in India, alright? So freedom of speech and expression, right? There are certain rights which are normally restricted to these foreign nationals, right? So not only to foreign nationals, alright, even the Indian citizens, there are restrictions imposed, but I will discuss this when I teach Article 19, alright? When I teach Article 19, alright, I will give them, alright? Right to establish educational institutions, educational and cultural rights, it is restricted only to citizens but not to foreigners, alright? Alright, so foreign aliens or foreign subjects, they enjoy certain civil rights, right? So remember, we don't have any specific article in Indian Constitution or specific provision in Indian Constitution that deals with the foreigners, right? So these foreigners are legal migrants. Foreigners are also legal migrants. That means legal migrants are also called as foreigners according to Foreigners Act of 1946. According to Foreigners Act of 1946, alright, these legal migrants are called as foreigners. So it is this act which has defined foreigners. Who is a foreigner? The one who enters India, the one who domiciles in India, resides in India with all the legal documents, alright. The one who possesses a foreigner, the one who possesses all the legal documents, they are called as legal migrants. They are called as legal migrants, right, because they possess all the legal documents. That is, they have a legal validity to stay in India. If they don't possess these legal documents, then they are called as illegal migrants. Illegal migrants is what? It is those individuals who enters India, who stays in India without any legal documents. Without any legal documents. That means if a foreigner, if there is an illegal migrant, the one who stays in India, the one who migrates to India without any legal documents, what need to be done for them? Against these illegal migrants, what needs to be done? Do they have the right to stay in India? Do these illegal migrants have any right to stay in India? When they are illegal, they have no right to stay in India. That means the government has every power to detain and deport them. Right? So according to Foreigners Act of 1946, right? So which was even accepted after Constitution, according to this Foreigners Act of 1946, any illegal migrant in India, they can be detained, deported to their home country. So that is the issue about Rohingyas. Right? Today we are talking much about the issue of Rohingyas. Why government is forcefully deporting them to their Myanmar? Why these Rohingyas are being forcefully deported? Because these Rohingyas are illegal migrants who are illegally staying in India. That is the reason why the government is acting according to law. It is not the government acting without a law. There is a law, right? Where this law says that anyone who stays in India illegally, they can be detained, they can be deported, right? So if you take this foreigners detention centers, right? Foreigner detention centers. Foreigner detention centers are being created according to this Foreigners Act of 1946, and it is in these detention centers where these illegal migrants are kept. Remember, these illegal migrants are detained in these detention centers. Alright, so that means there are specific detention centers which are created for the purpose of illegal migrants. Assam has more number of foreigner detention centers because Assam is the state which is affected by illegal migrants because of the Bangladesh war, right? So, and even now there is a continuous influx of this illegal migrants from Bangladesh, right? So, illegal migrants means the one who migrated to India, the one who are staying in India illegally, that is without any legal documents. Legal migrants are those people who are staying in India with all the legal documents, and it is these legal migrants who enjoy the civil rights. Then what about the rights for illegal migrants? Do they have any right? No. Whether it is compulsory for the government to provide shelter to these illegal migrants? Whether it is compulsory for the government to provide shelter to these illegal migrants? It is up to the government. It is purely about the government. If government feels that yes, there is no problem with these illegal migrants, then government can provide what you call shelter to them, asylum, refugee, Tibetan migrants. You take Chakmas, Tibetans who came to India, lakhs of Tibetans came to India and they took refuge in India. Right, Buddhist Chakmas again from Tibet region, right, from other parts of the Tibet, they came to Arunachal Pradesh in northeast, they took shelter. Alright, refugees from Sri Lanka, Tamil refugees. Alright, it is up to the government of India to allow them and stay them. So refugees are nothing but the one, alright, who have come to India without any legal document but took protection of India. Alright, the one who is being protected by Indian government. Those people who migrated from other countries to India without any legal document, but who are given the shelter, who are being given shelter by government of India. That is government of India accepting them as refugees. Right? So there is a difference between illegal migrant and refugee. Illegal migrants are those who are staying in India without permission of India illegally. Refugees are those who came to India without any legal document, but they are being given protection by government of India. They are being ensured of their livelihood. Refugees enjoys the right to livelihood. Article 21 that is given to citizens of India, it is also applicable to these refugees. This was a question asked in 2021 prelims exam. The rights of refugees. I made a video in 2019. In 2019, I made a video on Rohingyas, right? When I was a part of this, when I was working as chief mentor in Narayana IAS Academy, I made videos. Even now, even in 2022, questions have come from that videos. Questions have come in mains. Alright? So, alright, so this is the difference between legal migrants, illegal migrants, refugees. So are you clear about these terms? Citizens, aliens, friendly aliens, enemy aliens, legal migrants, illegal migrants and refugees. Right? Except illegal migrants, all of these enjoy civil rights, particularly the right to livelihood. Right? Illegal migrants don't enjoy any kind of right. No, they come under illegal migrants. They are illegal migrants because the government of India has proved by data that they are threat to nation, because the Pulwama attack on the CRPF Jawans, it is the government of India claimed that, alright, the one who is attacked normally belong to Rohingyas. So Rohingyas are involved in the kind of Rohingyas are responsible for violation of law and order in northeast India. So it is because of this reason. So as these Rohingyas are seen as a threat to law and order, the government of India is not giving any kind of shelter to these Rohingyas. That is the reason why they are being deported to their own. They are being deported to their homeland. Right? So they are illegal migrants who are seen as threat. Right? So if they are not threat to India, definitely India would have accepted them. But there is a kind of disturbances, right? The kind of protest during protest on this Citizenship Amendment Act, right? When government want to implement this Citizenship Amendment Act, even when the bill was drafted, there was protests made in what called some parts of the country, and government of India proved that these protests were mainly organized by these Rohingyas. So it is Rohingya Muslims who are involved in this kind of protests, right? So it is because of this reason the government of India has called them, branded them as illegal migrants. Alright, what I will do is I will take a break of 5 minutes, then we will meet again after 5 minutes. So anyone who want to post doubts, please do post. I will clear all the doubts after the break. So I think you are clear about these terms of what you call citizen, alien, legal migrants, illegal migrants, refugees and their rights. Alright. So let us now move towards the category of individuals who are regarded as citizens of India at the time of commencement of constitution. Remember, we all know that Indian constitution commenced on January 26th. It was on Jan 26, 1950, right? And the transfer of power was done on August 15, 1947. That means in between 1947 to this date of Jan 26, 1950, who are regarded as citizens of India. The issue is about the individuals who are treated as citizens of India. Citizens of India, who were citizens of India. Alright. So if you take this category of people, right? Remember, before going to that, articles 5 to 8 deals with articles 5 to 8 deals with the citizens at the time of commencement of constitution. Alright. Whereas 9 to 11, articles 9 to 11, they deal with laws of citizenship. So first is about the one who are treated as citizens of India at the time of commencement of constitution. Second one is, it is from 9 to 11, it is laws of Indian citizenship. Alright. First category of people. Let me use a new slide. The one who is domiciling in India, alright, the one who is residing and domiciling in India, they are treated as citizens of India. Residing, domiciling in India, that is, the one who are staying in India, they are treated as citizens of India, right, according to Article 5, provided either they should have born in India, second one, they should have, that is, either they should have born in India or either of their parents should have born in India or their grandparents. Either the concerned individual should have born in India or either of the parents should have born in India or either of the grandparents should have born in India. So India as defined by the 1935 Act. India as defined by 1935 Act. India according to 1935 Act. Alright. So if you take India according to 1935 Act, will it is same as that of present day India? Will it is same as today's India? No, it is not same as that of present day India. So if you take India according to 1935 Act, it includes the undivided India. So here India means it is undivided India. It is undivided India. Alright, so India which is undivided. India that is undivided. Remember, so the person should have born in India, that is undivided India, or either of these parents or either of the grandparents. So any one of them should have been born in India. So to be called as Indian citizen, these are the conditions. So one of these conditions should be fulfilled. One of these conditions should be fulfilled, right? Without which it is not possible, without which it is not possible for the individual to be called as Indian citizen, without which it is not possible for the person to be called as Indian citizen, right? So this is what about the first condition, the one who is residing or domiciling in India, right? So they are called as Indian citizens, right? So I want to clarify one point. The reason for not using much of Telugu in the class is because even these classes are being watched by other parts of the country, right? People from other states are also watching these classes, right? So if I start using Telugu, right, it might be difficult for other people also, right? So in order to have accessibility to all the students, I am using what you call a minimum Telugu in the class, right? So this is one reason. And even I can take classes in Hindi also. It is not that I am not good in Hindi, right? So I can take classes both in Hindi as well as English. The reason for not using Hindi is the people in Telugu will get difficult, right? The non-Hindi people will, the non-Hindi students, they will feel it difficult, right? So in order to avoid all these what you call criticisms, the safest language for me is English, right? This is one ground. Second ground is, second condition, all those people who have migrated from Pakistan to India, right? It is the one who have migrated from Pakistan to India, alright? So there is a date, that is July 19, 1948. July 19, 1948, right? The one who have migrated before this date and after this date. The one who have migrated before July 19, 1948 and the one who are migrated after July 19, 1948, alright? This is one thing. The one who are the one who have migrated from Pakistan to India before July 19, 1948, they are treated as Indian citizens. They are treated as citizens of India, provided again they should have born in undivided India, or either of their parents should have born in undivided India, or their grandparents, either the individual, that is either the individual should have born in India, or either of the parent or the grandparents, right? So here there is no other requirement that is required to get Indian citizenship. The one who have migrated from Pakistan to India before July 19, 1948, right, they are treated as Indian citizens based upon these grounds. Remember, please try to hear this class very carefully, because when you read textbooks you will get confused, because in textbooks you should read more number of dates. So right, it is out of my personal experience. When we read textbooks on this topic, it is more confusing in nature, alright? So to avoid that confusion, so do try to listen this class carefully, alright? This is one condition. The one who have migrated after July 19, 1948, the one who have migrated after July 19, 1948, they are treated as citizens of India. They are treated as citizens of India, right, by getting registered before a competent authority, right? They are given Indian citizenship, right, by registration. It is by way of registration. The concerned individual should get registered, right? The one who migrated after July 19, 1948, they are required to get registered to get Indian citizenship. Right? So they should get registered before a competent authority. A competent authority appointed by Government of India. A competent authority, right, which is appointed by Government of India. The condition to get registered is the person should stay in India for a period of not less than 6 months before giving the application. So the condition here is the individual should have been residing in India for a period of not less than 6 months. That is, 6 months stay is essential. 6 months stay is essential to get Indian citizenship. So without staying for 6 months in India, it is not possible. It is not possible, right, to get Indian citizenship. It is not possible to get Indian citizenship. So to get Indian citizenship, what is required is, it is this, what you call 6 months stay. So those who have migrated after July 19, 1948, they are treated as citizens of India by way of registration. They need to get registered before a competent authority appointed by Government of India, and the condition to get registered is they should stay in India for a period of not less than 6 months. Alright? So provided either they have born in India, either their parent or their grandparents. Alright? This is one condition. Alright? I am clear about these two. The first condition is the one who is domiciling in India, the one who has resided and domiciling in India. Alright? This is first condition. Second condition is the one who has migrated from Pakistan to India, right, before July 19 and after July 19. Right? Coming to the next category of persons, the one who has migrated from India to Pakistan. Right? The one who has migrated from India to Pakistan before March 1st, 1947. Right? The one who has migrated from India to Pakistan, again later returned to India. Alright, the one who has migrated from India to Pakistan before 1st March 1947, again later returned to India. This is a special case. So migrating from India to Pakistan, again from Pakistan to India. Right? After seeing the conditions in Pakistan, most of the people, most of the Indians, again they have returned back to India. So it is this category of people. Right? So the one who have returned from Pakistan to India again, right, they are treated as citizens of India by way of registration. Alright, so now you should get a doubt. So instead of me, I expect the students to raise a doubt. So I will, right, in case if you don't raise a doubt, I will explain this later. Alright, I'll wait. So they are treated as citizens of India by way of registration. Alright, they should get registered before a competent authority appointed by Government of India. They should get registered by whom? Registered by a competent authority. Appointed by Government of India. Again the condition is, right, before getting registered, they should stay in India for a period of not less than 6 months. Before getting registered, they should stay in India for a period of not less than 6 months. Okay. So this is what you call Right? This is about the category of people who have migrated from India to Pakistan and later returned to India. Alright, they are given registration by way of, they are given Indian citizenship by way of registration. Registration before a competent authority. The condition here is, right, the stay of 6 months. Again, same thing, born in India, either the parents should have born in India or their grandparents. Alright, this is one condition. Next category of people. Alright. So, alright, remember in the previous class, in the previous provision, the one who returned to India before July 19 without registration, they are being given Indian citizenship. But here, if you take this class of people, they have went from India to Pakistan, Alright. So, in order to have the record of this category of people, because the people might have migrated from here to there, but what about their assets? What about their property? It is in India. Who should protect their property? Who should take the responsibility of protecting their property? Earlier, we had a law, that is Protection of Enemy Property Act. It was in the recent past. It was in 2019. The government of India has repealed this law. So that means the government of India will not protect the property of enemies. The one who went to the one who migrated to Pakistan, obviously, right, they are treated as nationals of enemy country. Now, why government of India should take the responsibility of protecting their property in India? So, which is very popularly called as Enemy Property Protection Bill. Right, it was passed, right, and there is no protection now. Right, there is one house called as Jinnah House in Bombay, and government of India was giving the protection to that Jinnah house. Right, who is Jinnah? Father of our enemy country. Why government of India should give this what you call protection? Why government should provide protection? Alright? So there are many such things. Alright? Alright? So now coming to the other category of people, the one who has born out, the one who is what you call domiciling or born outside of India. Born and domiciling. The one who has born outside of India and domiciling outside of India, even they are treated as Indian citizens. Even they are called as Indian citizens. Even they are called as Indian citizens, provided either their parents or grandparents should have born in undivided India. Alright? Either their parents or grandparents. Either their parents or grandparents should have born in undivided India. That means though the individual might have born in other country, though the individual might have domiciling in other country, right, still they are regarded as citizens of India. So born or domiciling in other country, they are treated as citizens of India, provided, right, either their parents or the grandparent is born in undivided India. So these are different categories of individuals. These are different categories of individuals who are treated as Indian citizens before commencement of constitution. The one who is born domiciling in India, that is the one who is born residing and domiciling in India, the one who has migrated from Pakistan to India, the one who has migrated from India to Pakistan and then later came to India, the one who is domiciling outside of India, born to an Indian parents. So these are different categories of people. These are different categories of people who are treated as Indian citizens, who are called as Indian citizens. Okay. All right. So this is about different categories. Now what about acquiring of citizenship after commencement of constitution, that is people like us. Alright, so we are born after commencement of constitution. So how we have acquired Indian citizenship? Remember one point, though the word citizenship is mentioned in the constitution, it is not exactly defined in the constitution. That is, our constitution has not defined this word citizenship exactly. Though it is mentioned, it is not defined exactly. So it is Citizenship Act of 1955. It is Citizenship Act of 1955, which has defined citizenship and which has provided different grounds for acquiring Indian citizenship, right? So it is this Citizenship Act of 1955. It is this Citizenship Act of 1955 which has provided different grounds for acquiring Indian citizenship, alright. So if you take these grounds, alright, Indian citizenship is acquired by birth. The first condition is by birth, second one is by descent, third one is by way of registration, by way of naturalization. By way of naturalization, by acquiring, by incorporating any territory, by acquiring any territory, right? So these are different grounds. For acquiring Indian citizenship: by birth, by descent, by registration, by naturalization, and by acquiring or incorporating any territory. Alright. So let me talk about the first condition, that is by birth. According to Citizenship Act of 1955, all those individuals who are born in India in between Jan 26, 1950 and July 1st, 1987, all those individuals who have born in between this period, they are treated as Indian citizens just by birth, irrespective of nationality of the parents. So it is just by birth, the individuals are treated as citizens of India. Alright, it is just by birth. So parents' nationality is not considered. The parents' nationality is not considered. It is just by birth. Okay. But later the laws were changed. Alright. So not only by birth, either of the parent should be an Indian citizen. Alright. So all those individuals who are born between July 1st, 1987 and December 3rd, 1992. Alright. So all those individuals who are born before December 3rd, 1992, they are treated as citizens of India, provided the individual should have born in India and either of parents should be an Indian citizens. Alright. So one of the parents, either father or mother. Again the laws were changed in 1992, saying that all those individuals who have born after this December 3rd, 1992, they are treated as Indian citizens, provided they should have born in India, alright, and both the parents should be Indian citizens, alright, or one of the parents should be Indian citizen and the other parent should be an illegal migrant. So you see some kind of complexity because you see more number of what you call clauses in these laws, right? That is the reason why this is difficult, because you have more number of clauses, more number of laws in this. I'll be very clear, I'll be slow, right? So I think first it is the one who have born before July 1st, 1987. It is just by birth. It is just by birth. The one who have born after July 1st, that is July 1st, 1987 to December 3rd, 1992. The grounds here is the individual should have born in India, plus other condition is either of the parent should be Indian citizen. Alright. Later what happened? Again laws were changed. All those individuals who are born after December 3rd, 1992, right, they are treated as citizens of India by birth, provided both the parents should be Indian citizens. Both the parents should be Indian citizens, or one of the parent is Indian, and other parent should be an illegal migrant. Another parent should not be illegal migrant. Should not be illegal migrant. So these are the conditions, right? So, and in this citizenship topic, particularly this, you will see more such number of laws, right? So you should remember the dates. Of course, in UPSC, focus will not be on dates. Particularly in polity, there is no need to remember all these kind of nonsense dates. Alright, so don't waste time, don't waste your energy in remembering all these kind of nonsense dates. Alright. So that means you are the people who are born after this date of 3rd December 1992. That means you are citizens of India not just by birth but also by nationality of parents. If you take me, I have born before 1987. So it is just by my birth. It is just by my birth I am the citizen of this nation. But for you it is not just by birth but even the nationality of your parents is important. Alright. So this is the case of citizenship by birth. Alright. So these are different cases. So by birth, right, by birth and nationality of either of parent, by birth and nationality of both the parents. Alright. So this is one case. Coming to the second ground, that is by descent. By descent. Alright, if you take this by descent, alright, that means descent means what? Descent denotes the nationality of the parents. So here it is about the case of those individuals. It is about the case of those individuals who are born outside of India. The one who has born. The one who has born outside of India, they are treated as Indian citizens. The one who has born outside of India, they are given Indian citizenship, right, by nationality of their parents, by nationality of their parents. All those individuals who have born before December 3rd, 1992, the one who have born before December 3rd, 1992, they are treated as citizens of India if the father is an Indian citizen. The one who has born outside of India before this December 3rd, 1992, they are given Indian citizenship if the father is an Indian. That means what? The nationality of mother is not regarded. In this case, the nationality of mother is not regarded. So, irrespective of nationality of the mother, right, if father is an Indian citizen, they are treated as Indian citizens. Right. So, this is one condition. This is the condition. But all those individuals are born after this date. All those individuals who are born after December 3rd, 1992, alright, they are treated as citizen of India if either of the parent is an Indian. If either of the parent is an Indian citizen, they are treated as citizens of India if either of the parent is Indian. So, earlier it was only father's nationality which was considered, but now it is both father and mother. So, either means what? Either father or mother should be an Indian citizen. So, again rules were changed in 2004. Alright. So, all those individuals who are born after December 3rd, 2004, all those individuals who have born after December 3rd, 2004, the one who have born after December 3rd, 2004, they are treated as citizens of India, right? Not only the parents' nationality, that is, they are treated as citizens of India provided either of the parents should be an Indian citizen. Either of the parents should be an Indian citizen. Either of the parent should be an Indian, and they need to get registered in the nearest Indian consulate. Right? They need to get registered in Indian consulate. Within a period of 1 year of birth. Within a period of 1 year of the birth. That means either the parent should be an Indian citizen. Not only this, along with this, the child should be registered. The child should be registered as Indian citizen in the Indian consulate office. So, before that, there was no such requirement of registration. It is purely based upon the nationality of parents. Right? So, these are the grounds for getting Indian citizenship. These are the grounds for getting Indian citizenship, right, to those individuals who have born outside of India. To those individuals who have born outside of India. Okay. Am I clear about this? So, we have seen by nationality, that is by birth and by descent. Right? What is the next ground? It is by way of registration. Alright? By way of registration. So, this is the first case of registration. The minor child born to Indian parents outside of India. Right? They should register their child within 1 year of such birth. Right? Coming to third case. By way of registration. The minor child born to Indian parents. Alright? A foreigner marrying Indian. A foreigner marrying Indian. A foreigner who is staying in India. A foreigner who is domiciling in India. Persons of Indian origin. Persons of The persons of Indian origin. Alright? Living outside the country. Living outside. Residing outside. The persons of Indian origin. Born outside but living in India. Born outside but living in India, but residing in India. But residing in India. Alright? So these are different categories of people. Alright? These are different categories of people who can acquire Indian citizenship by way of registration. By way of registration. So a minor child born to Indian parents, they should get registered within a period of 1 year of such birth. A foreigner, alright, who is domiciling in India, a foreigner who has married in India, alright, they can get registered as Indian citizen. They can get registered as Indian citizen provided if they stay in India for a period of not less than 11 years. It is for a period of 11 years. Alright. And even this category. So 2, 3, 5. They need to stay in India for a period of 11 years before getting registered as citizens of India. And the remaining 2 categories, it is 1 year. Within 1 year, right, they can acquire Indian citizenship. That is from the date of application. Within 1 year, right, they can they can acquire Indian citizenship. That is, they can get registered as Indian citizens. Right. So these are different categories of people who can get registered as citizens of India. Alright, going to the next condition, it is by way of naturalization. The government of India can adopt anyone as Indian citizen. So here it means simply the government of India can confer Indian citizenship. It can confer Indian citizenship on any individual. Now provided, right, there are certain conditions. Remember, it is not unconditional. The present debate on CAA, it is on this issue. Right, the government of India can confer Indian citizenship on any individual, right, provided the individuals who doesn't hold citizenship of any other country, right, individuals who doesn't hold citizenship of any other country, citizenship of any other country, right. This is one. That means the one who has no citizenship of any other country, the one who doesn't belong to any country, right, government of India can adopt them, government of India can confer Indian citizenship on them, right. Government of India can also confer, right, government of India can also confer Indian citizenship to all those individuals, right, who are at service of India, who are in the service of India. The government of India can also provide, that is, the government of India can naturalize them as Indian citizenship. Government of India can naturalize them as citizens of India, right, for their extraordinary service to India. To Indian government, to Indian society. That is, government can adopt them, government can naturalize them as Indian citizens, right. But here, right, the conduct of individuals is very, very important. The good behavior of individuals. The other condition is the good conduct. The other conditions is the good conduct. Alright. For their good conduct, the government of India can naturalize. If their conduct is not good, Right? The government of India need not provide any kind of citizenship. Right? So and to be a naturalized citizen of India, they should stay in India for a period of not less than 14 years. 14 years of stay. 14 years of stay is essential. So they should stay in India for a period of 14 years. Right? So this is very, very important. Good conduct. That means government of India should get satisfied that the individual conduct is good. It is only then the government of India can give the what you call citizenship. So there was a criticism against discrimination in providing citizenship to illegal migrants, right? So on the Citizenship Amendment Act, the biggest criticism is discrimination shown. Discrimination shown against Muslims, right? Against Muslims of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. So I am giving a brief description. So this Citizenship Act of 2019 provides citizenship, Indian citizenship. They are being naturalized as Indian citizens. Right? That is not all. It is the illegal, the minorities of these countries. That is Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, Parsis, right? Buddhists, Jains. Right? It is these categories of people, right, who are illegally staying in India for a period of not less than 6 years. For them it is 6 years. So here Muslims are excluded. Right? It is the minorities who are staying in India out of fear of being persecuted by their countries. Right? So the one who is taking refugee, the one who is staying in India, right, illegally, they are being given citizenship. And this category, these Muslims are being excluded. But what is the condition for getting Indian citizenship? Good behavior. So good behavior is the essential condition for granting Indian citizenship. Now, if you take India, India is a victim of what you call terrorism. India is a victim of all the kind of criminal violences. Now, from where this terrorism is coming out? From where this terrorism is coming out? Who are sponsoring terrorism? We know that it is Pakistan. It is Pakistan and it is this section of society who are involved in terrorist activities. We take criminal violence in Northeast. Again, who are responsible? The kind of criminal violence in Assam. It is this group from Bangladesh who are responsible. Now, how they can claim Indian citizenship? When there is a clear ground in the constitution that there is a requirement of good conduct, when you cannot prove that there is a good conduct, how you can claim citizenship? Is there any point in criticizing CAA? Alright, so even I'll talk about this Ramnath Govind committee also, right? Because first thing, let me go to the constitutional provisions. Let me first talk about this constitutional provisions. Alright, so these are different conditions. To get naturalized as Indian citizens. Alright. So this is what about today's class. Alright. So before leaving the class, let me explain what we have discussed in today's class. So we start our discussion with Article 3, the procedure for creating the states. So we have seen some of the loopholes, right, in creation of states in India. Then we have went towards citizens. We made a difference between citizens, aliens, illegal migrants, refugees, and the kind of rights they are entitled in Indian Constitution. Right? Then we have we had a discussion on the individuals who are treated as citizens of India before commencement of Constitution. That is the one who has born and domiciled, the one who has migrated from Pakistan to India, then the one who has migrated from India to Pakistan. Then we have seen the people, right, what you call, born outside of India to Indian parents, right? This is what. And we have seen, right, a citizenship after commencement of constitution, that is by birth, by descent, by registration and by naturalization. So these are the topics that we have discussed today in this class. In the tomorrow's class, I will discuss a debate on this CAA. I will talk about the Ramnath Govind Committee's report, recommendations. All right. And before leaving the class, I want to specify one thing. All right. Most of the people should learn many lessons from me, because if you take my preparation, in my preparation days, I used to work around 16 to 18 hours literally. I worked 16 hours literally in my days. And there were days in my fourth attempt, because in my first three attempts, I was writing mains, but I could not get the interview call. I got interview call only in my fourth attempt. And in my fourth attempt, I used to sleep once in 2 days. You see, it is not for my greatness. The reason is, even after having such a hard work, why I have failed in my exam, particularly the first attempt was a very best attempt of my life, because I spent a lot of time. Still, I could not clear. The reason is my focus was only on to clear prelims exam. I always thought of clearing prelims exam. I never thought about mains. That was the biggest mistake done by me in my initial first year. If I would have thought about the mains exam, definitely I would have cracked civils exam within 2 attempts. I know, even people who took guidance from me, they have cleared exam. In terms of subject, in terms of information, they are not above me, but still I have failed. The reason is, when you are preparing for UPSC exam, right from day one, write the answers. There should not be a day without writing answer. Unless you write the answers, never imagine success in UPSC. At least write 2 answers. Every day I am giving 2 questions. Questions which are taught in the class. Questions purely based upon the topics which are taught in the class, because I want you to feel easy while writing the answers. And I am giving the hints of writing answers, where to refer, what to refer. So please follow these guidelines. Do write answers regularly. Do post the answers to my mail. If you keep on writing answers, if you keep on sending the answers to me, I'll feel very happy. Right? It is the biggest return that you are giving to my lectures. I expect every student to write the answers. I expect this. I don't want money for my GS class. For GS classes, I am not charging any single rupee. Right? The only fee it is in the form of your answers. Write answers and send it to me. Right? Don't hesitate. Don't feel shy. If you don't write answers, how many years you prepare, it is not a matter. You will not clear exam. Right? So 6 months of answer writing, it will change your life. Right? Take this as granted. Right? So with this note, I'll stop the class here for now, and we'll meet in tomorrow's class. Right? So are you happy with the classes? And even the one who are in online, please do comment about the classes.
This particular